So, welcome. And we'll start by kind of just wiggling the body. We'll do a little bit of tapping, a little bit of stretching, and a little bit of breathing today. So, with the tapping, it's nice to have a mantra to use with the tapping. So, I always use I love myself completely, but you may have a different mantra that works well for you, if especially if there's something going on, right? Like, so even though this chaotic thing is happening in my life, I love myself completely. Unconditional love for the self is the groundwork for unconditional love for everyone else. And it is probably one of the hardest and most radical things we can do. So we'll start with the karate chop point. So you can use the opposite hand on the opposite outside pinky finger side. Even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And you can repeat that to yourself, or you can add your own mantra here. And then we'll tap the top of the head. So just lightly with the fingertips, whatever feels good to you. Even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And then the inner eyebrows. So, like between the eyebrow and the nose on the left and the right side, even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And then we can move across the brow ridge to the temple space on the outside of the eyebrows. Landing here again gently, easefully, even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And then the top of the upper lip, between the upper lip and the nose, finding this acupressure point and repeating your mantra, even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And then on the chin beneath the lower lip, finding this space. Even though I'm an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And then moving to the collarbones. And you can do the fingertips or you can make fists. Either way, whatever feels good in your body. Even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. And then underneath the armpits. Even though I am an imperfect person, I love and accept myself completely. We're going to go through that whole cycle again. I'll say the points, you say the mantra that works for you. So karate chop. And the top of the head. Inside of the brows. And the temples outside of the brows. Upper lip. and the chin, and the collarbones, and then under the arms. And then take a breath and stop the tapping and come back into some stillness. Notice the breath. Notice how your body feels. Notice if there's any areas of tension, and we'll try to release some of those through a bit of movement, mindful movement and stretching. And we'll start with a side bend. So you can do this really gently, getting really long along the left side, tipping down towards the right. If you want to include the arm, you can lift an arm up overhead. If you want to include the neck, you can rotate the face towards that raised arm. But make sure you can still breathe. There's sometimes a tendency, if something becomes a little bit tough, we stop breathing, and that's the opposite of what we want. Thinking about getting taller and longer and arching over the side. And then using the abs to slowly come back up through center. If the arm's up, bringing it down and then wiggling out a little bit, adjusting the shoulders, maybe circling the hips in one direction and the other direction. And then we'll move into a stretch on the right side. So sitting up nice and tall and tipping towards the left. If you like, bringing the arm up. If that's too much, you can always rest the hand on top of the head, or you can keep the hand by your side, thinking about rising up, tipping over. And if you want to include the neck, looking up towards the raised hand, towards the right side. Making sure you're still breathing, making sure the breathing is easy. Coming here for another couple breaths. And then moving from your abs to slowly come back up to center. Bring the arm down if it's up, and then adjusting again the shoulders and the hips, circling in one direction and the other direction. Finding that balance. Lovely. And then we'll work into some pelvic tilts, eventually leading into full cat-cows. And we'll start by just barely moving, tipping the pelvis. So there's a tiny arch in the back. And breathing in here and out here. And then tucking the tailbone and slightly rounding the spine, making these really tiny little movements and breathing in and out here. And then slowly moving into an anterior tilt and slowly moving into that posterior tilt. Making these a little more fluid, perhaps a little bit bigger. If that feels good, you can add the upper spine into these pelvic tilts if you want to round the back and arch the back. You can add the neck in if that feels good, looking up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. You can press into the knees or pull the sternum through the shoulders if you want more of that stretch, but making sure you're breathing. Maybe you match the breath to the movement, inhaling into this cow pose and exhaling into a rounded spine into your cat pose. And you do not need to match me. You might be much faster than me because you have a lot of energy today, or you might be much slower than me because you're feeling like more deliberate, slow pace is what your body needs. Listen and respond to what cues your body is telling you. And then the next time you're in your cow pose, we'll keep this really open chest, bringing the shoulders up to the ears and back, bringing the shoulder blades down the spine. If you like, you can reach for opposite hands or opposite elbows, or if you're sitting in a chair, you could grab for the back of the chair to really stretch, open the heart center, the heart space. If you are looking for something even deeper and you are able to clasp the hands behind you, you can hinge your body forward and bring the arms away from the back. But that's not strictly necessary. You can always just stay right here. Don't forget to catch your breath. Nice and easy in and out through the nose. And then we'll bring the hands more towards the right side. So if you are clasped, you can bring both of the hands towards the right hip. If that is tough, you can simply reach behind you, use your chair for leverage, and we'll feel the opening in the left shoulder. And we'll breathe into that left shoulder, finding any amount of relaxation here. A nice, slow, easy breath. Loose, gentle, staying in a rest and digest rather than getting ourselves worked up into a fight or flight response. And then coming back to center, opening the chest up, looking up towards the ceiling, and then tucking the chin down towards the chest, feeling the stretch down the upper cervical spine, the neck. Coming back to neutral and then bringing the hands over towards the left to open up the right shoulder. And breathing here. Finding some space, relaxing into whatever you're feeling. And if it feels like a lot, come out of it a little bit. If this isn't working for you, do something else. You can use the chair for leverage. You can simply reach behind you. Make the stretch work in your body, in today's body. And then we'll come back to center and roll out the shoulders in one direction and the other direction. And then maybe rolling out the wrists would feel good, interlocking the fingers and doing some figure eights in one way. And then switching directions. One side probably will feel intuitive and the other side will probably feel a little bit weird. And that's fine. That's just right-handedness, left-handedness. Opening and closing the fingertips. And then finding a really nice, tall seat. If there are other movements, maybe you want to stretch the legs out, or maybe you want to point and flex the toes, or maybe a twist would feel good. Now is a great time to spend just a minute or two feeling into your body, saying, okay, am I tight here? Do I need something here? Maybe a little massage would be what I need to release these muscles. Or maybe breathing into the stretch as I find a little bit deeper place to go would feel good. But a lot of times we're pushing against our body instead of encouraging the body along the path. And sometimes the path takes a really long time to get down. That's okay. We just take one little baby step at a time so that we stay in this relaxed space so that movement and stillness neither pose a threat to our brain. And our brain says, ah, yes, movement. I know how to move. And then we say, okay, brain, can we rest and be still and breathe here? And our brain says, ah, yes, I remember how to do this. This is fine. You can close your eyes if that feels good. You can lower your gaze. If closing your eyes for whatever reason doesn't feel like a good idea today, find a little point of focus, little corner, a piece of fuzz, whatever it is, and keep your eyes glued there, kind of a soft, fuzzy, singular point of focus so that we can do the deep work of going inside. Find the breath. You don't have to change it. We're just noticing right now. Where is your breath? How is your breath? What's the quality of this breath? And the next, is it the same or are the breaths different each one? Where does the body move on the inhale? How does the body move on the exhale? Can you feel the breath in your arms and your hands? And it's fine if the answer is no, but give the hands and arms some attention, some focus. Can you feel the change between the inhale and the exhale here? Can you feel the breath in the knees, the ankles, and the feet? Don't force it. If the answer is no, that's fine. You can just rest the attention there. Can you find the breath in the hips, in the pelvic floor, in the bum? Expanding and contracting, filling and emptying, cycling through every breath. Whether we're paying attention or not, this is happening in our body. We're just tuning in. We're just becoming the passive observer. Can you invite the breath into the belly? You may have already recruited your diaphragm. Wonderful. If you haven't, think about inhaling and letting the belly rise as the diaphragm comes down, as the air comes in, as all of your organs move out of the way to make room for the air. The belly expands, and on the exhale, the opposite. The diaphragm comes up, the air comes out, the organs move back, the belly comes towards the spine. So much is going on. Watch the belly as you inhale and as you exhale. Where is the navel in space as the belly rises and falls? Let the belly be really soft. There can be all kinds of societal pressures for our belly to look a certain way. Let those go. Let the belly be soft. Let it do what it does. Let it be this wonderful container for all of the things that help keep you alive. Have some appreciation here, cultivating a sense of gratitude, of thankfulness for being alive and being conscious enough to follow the breath. How lovely is this? Keep the belly moving as you move the attention to the heart space. As you come into the heart space, see if you can slow the breath down so the belly still rises, maybe takes another extra second. And the belly still falls, but let it be a longer, slower exhale. I love and accept myself completely. And that doesn't mean we're not working towards change or betterment. That doesn't mean we don't take care of ourselves. It just means that on the path, remember the path is very long and it takes many, many steps, that at every stage along the path, we are still showing ourselves ultimate compassion, love, kindness, because that makes the path much more enjoyable to walk down. Would you rather walk down a path with someone who is always complaining and picking out all of your flaws? Or would you rather walk down a path with someone who says, oh, you're doing a great job, come on, follow me, we've got this, we can go together? This is how your body and your mind can either be in sync or out of sync. Big breath into the heart. And a slow, gentle exhale out the mouth, like you're blowing out a straw. 2 more like that into the nose. And a long, slow exhale like you're blowing out birthday candles. One more just like that in your own time. Bring the attention to the top of the head and just let the relaxation wash over your face, coming down over the ears and the nose and the chin. You're right where you need to be. Coming down the neck and the shoulders, down the arms and hands. Let the relaxation wash over your torso, down your legs to your knees, and from the knees to the feet. Find a little more comfort. If that means mindfully adjusting, then mindfully adjust. And then ever so gently bring a tiny bit of movement, maybe just the idea of movement, into your fingertips, into your feet, feeling the floor beneath you, maybe wiggling the toes or pressing the soles of the feet into the earth. Maybe you start articulating the spine very slowly, coming back into that Halloween cat arched back. And then wiggling the body however feels good, making some organic movements or some gentle twisting movements. You've just been still for a little while, and now we're inviting this organic movement so that we can transition from some stillness and meditation back into the rest of the day. If your eyes are closed, you can gently blink them open. Thanks for practicing with me today.